You ever looked back over your life and felt the weight of wasted years? Maybe you think of opportunities that slipped through your fingers, relationships that ended in heartbreak, or dreams that never came true. Perhaps you've found yourself wondering if all those years filled with pain, failure, or regret, were truly wasted. But here's the truth: nothing is wasted in God's economy. No matter how many years you feel have been lost, God has the power to restore them. Not only can He redeem your past, but He can also use it for His glory and your good. In fact, the Bible promises that God will restore the years that the locusts have eaten. Joel 2 verse 25. This is an incredible promise of hope for all who feel like their time has been stolen or lost. So, how do you know when God is about to restore your wasted years? How can you tell that a season of divine restoration is on the horizon? Here are 10 signs that God is preparing to redeem your time and bring you into a new season of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. 1. A deep stirring in your spirit. One of the first signs that God is about to restore your wasted years is a deep stirring in your spirit. This stirring is often subtle at first, a quiet sense that something is shifting in the spiritual realm. You may feel more drawn to prayer, more in tune with the Holy Spirit, or more aware of God's presence in your life. This spiritual awakening is not a coincidence. It's a sign that God is preparing you for something new. Restoration begins in the heart and the spirit before it manifests in the physical world. When you sense this stirring, lean into it. Spend more time with God, seek His direction, and allow Him to guide you into this new season. 2. A renewed desire to seek God. When God is about to restore your wasted years, He often begins by drawing you closer to Him. You may find that you have a renewed passion for prayer, worship, and studying His Word. This desire to seek God is a key indicator that He is preparing your heart for restoration. When you spend time in His presence, you align yourself with His plans and purposes for your life. You become more sensitive to His voice and more receptive to His leading. As you draw near to God, He will begin to reveal His plans for your restoration. Trust that He is working behind the scenes, even when you can't see it yet. 3. Doors you thought were closed are opening again. Have you ever noticed that sometimes, the things we thought were lost forever suddenly come back into our lives? When God is about to restore your wasted years, He may reopen doors that you thought were closed for good. Perhaps it's a relationship that you thought was beyond repair, a dream that you had long since given up on, or an opportunity that you thought had passed you by. When God restores, He doesn't just give you back what you lost, He gives it back to you better than before. He brings new life to old dreams and new opportunities to past disappointments. Pay attention to the doors that are beginning to open in your life, and be ready to walk through them. 4. You begin to experience small breakthroughs. Before full restoration comes, God often gives us glimpses of what's to come through small breakthroughs. These breakthroughs may be in the form of answered prayers, unexpected blessings, or moments of clarity and direction. These are God's way of encouraging you and reminding you that He is at work. Don't overlook these small victories. They are a sign that God is actively restoring your life and preparing you for greater things. Celebrate each breakthrough, no matter how small, and keep trusting that more is on the way. 5. You feel a new sense of hope and expectancy. Hope is a powerful force, and when God is about to restore your wasted years, He fills your heart with renewed hope and expectancy. You may have spent years feeling discouraged, weighed down by the past, and uncertain about the future. But when God begins to move, you start to feel a shift in your spirit. You find yourself believing again, believing that better days are ahead, that God has a good plan for your life, and that nothing is impossible with Him. This renewed hope is a sign that God is working behind the scenes to bring about your restoration. Even if you can't see the full picture yet, trust that He is making all things new. If you're feeling that hope rise in your heart, take a moment to hit the like button. Let us know how God is working in your life, and encourage others who may be going through the same season of waiting. Every act of faith, no matter how small, is a step closer to the restoration that God has promised. 6. Old wounds begin to heal. God doesn't just restore what was lost, He also heals what was broken. When God is about to restore your wasted years, He often begins by healing the wounds of the past. These wounds may be emotional, relational, or even spiritual. You may have carried the pain of past mistakes, broken relationships, or missed opportunities for years. But now, you're starting to feel the weight of those burdens lifting. God is healing your heart, giving you the grace to forgive, and helping you to let go of the pain that has held you back. This healing is a crucial part of the restoration process, as it prepares you to move forward into the new things that God has in store for you. 7. You're seeing God's hand in your circumstances. One of the most beautiful signs of God's restoration is when you begin to see His hand at work in your life. You may have gone through difficult seasons where it seemed like God was silent or absent. But now, you're starting to recognize His presence in the details of your life. You see how He has been orchestrating events, bringing the right people into your life, and aligning circumstances in ways that only He could. This recognition of God's sovereignty is a sign that He is restoring your faith, your trust, and your confidence in His plans for your life. 8. You have a new perspective on the past. As God prepares to restore your wasted years, He often gives you a new perspective on the past. What once seemed like failure or loss begins to take on new meaning. You start to see how God was working even in the hardest moments of your life, using them to shape you, refine you, and prepare you for the future. This new perspective is a sign of healing and growth. It's a reminder that God can use even the most painful seasons for His glory and your good. Instead of dwelling on the years that were lost, you begin to focus on the future and the new things that God is bringing into your life. 9. You feel a deep sense of gratitude. When God is about to restore your wasted years, He often fills your heart with gratitude. You may find yourself becoming more thankful for the little things in life, the relationships you have, the opportunities you've been given, and the blessings you may have overlooked in the past. Gratitude is a powerful force that shifts your focus from what you've lost to what you have. It opens the door for more blessings and aligns your heart with God's goodness. As you cultivate a heart of gratitude, you position yourself to receive the full restoration that God has promised. 10. You sense that God's promises are being fulfilled. Perhaps the most significant sign that God is about to restore your wasted years is the sense that His promises are being fulfilled in your life. You may have held on to certain promises from God for years, waiting and praying for them to come to pass. Now, you're starting to see glimpses of those promises becoming a reality. This sense of fulfillment is a powerful indicator that God's restoration is near. He is faithful to complete the work He has begun in you, and His timing is perfect. Trust that what He has promised, He will bring to pass. As you reflect on these signs, remember that God is a God of restoration. No matter how many years you feel have been wasted, He can redeem them. He can take your brokenness, your pain, and your disappointment, and turn them into something beautiful. The years you thought were lost are not lost in God's eyes. He is the one who makes all things new, and He is preparing to restore everything that was taken from you. If this message has encouraged you, be sure to subscribe to God's Plan so you don't miss out on future content that will help you on your faith journey. God is doing a new thing in your life, and we want to be part of that journey with you. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we walk together in faith and restoration. Remember, God's plan for your life is greater than anything you can imagine. He's a God of second chances, a God who redeems and restores. Trust in Him, and watch as He takes the years you thought were wasted and turns them into a testimony of His goodness and grace.